Let me see. I've got to look in the back room there. Yes, you are. I'll bring you on. We can't hear you, and we can see you from your delectable chin below, but nothing higher. There we go.
There we go. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's a lovely sunny, well, slightly balmy day here at the Laguna. Talk to us about UK corruption. Talk emphasis, child trafficking taking place courtesy of your friendly government.
Okay, so hello everybody. I hope you're well. And so fascinating that collectively this conversation is just manifesting itself so beautifully. And I think I've just fallen in love slightly with William. So yes, what an amazing man. So thank you for being so brave and being on the front line. So in the UK, we have the hub of child trafficking, which was in London. And coincidentally, it's in the Bristol Family Court now. They have changed the hub for child trafficking into Bristol Family Court, which I will be outside of tomorrow, exposing the child trafficking with some amazing, powerful people. And one of the biggest reasons that they've taken the Family Courts hub into Bristol is because of the port and the access into the seas, and also the airport as well with the private jets, which we saw with Jeffrey Epstein, we saw with Ghislaine, we saw how their network of paedophiles is the only word I can use. How they used and abused the private jet, the high-flying elitist network to their advantage using blackmail, coercion, which brings me on to Freemasonry. Freemasonry is a subject that every single living man, living woman, mother, father, uncle, auntie, grandmother, grandfather needs to fully comprehend to protect our children. This is a global network of Satanism. I went outside of the Masonic Hall only 2 nights ago and asked a Freemason to his face about why they swear an oath with a double-edged sword to their neck and a rope around their neck. Now, they do this in order to force their brethren, under coercive control, to scare them and terrify them, that should they break their silence, should they speak out about any corruption, any paedophilia, any fraud, any crime against their other brethren, which is the judges, the police, the regulators, then they will have their tongues cut out and left on the beach. That is Freemasonry. Freemasonry runs the world. Understand Freemasonry, comprehend that, and we as a collective can start to unpick this shit show that we have been put into. So in terms of where we are in England...
Before you go on, I just need to qualify that point a bit with you, because I've spent many years meeting with different Freemasons. I'm not acting as an apologist here for those of you who like to think I'm a Vatican agent, but I do want to temper this with my own personal experience. I say that Freemasonry is rotten to the core. But I say that arguably up to 90% are decent people trapped in a stupid system who are in there with the best will in the world, and are just witless, formless individuals. In the main, there are some very intelligent Masons out there. I was asked a couple of years ago to address a room filled with Masons. They were very intelligent people in the main, had a good esoteric knowledge, and wanted me to actually lecture to them about what I understood. So I just want to put that in there for the more reductive people looking in here. We're not trying to create more divisions here. It's not about attack your local Freemason. It's about understanding that we've really now evolved to a place where we don't need secret societies, for the love of Christ. We don't need to be playing those stupid games to protect the flame of truth or some esoteric hoo-ha. That's really the point here. Please crack on. Sorry.
And no. Thank you for clarifying that, because I myself, when I had the conversation 2 nights ago, what is very clear is that the outer circle, the good Freemasons, the ones that do the charity work in the local communities, are actually the PR gurus who have zero comprehension of what actually goes on at the top of the Satanism, the paedophilia, the child blood drinking sacrifice, the SRA. They have no comprehension of that. So it's not even in their fault. You know, it's not their fault. So there is definitely a circle within a circle within a circle, and it's the core that I'm focusing on, and I'm spreading the light and the truth upon that inner core circle, which brings me on to Teresa Villas, MP, Conservative Member of Parliament, Chippenden Barnet, who is the Privy Councillor to Elizabeth II, connected to Prince Andrew. She is Mossad, MI5, MI6, GCHQ agent who attended my wedding of only 20 people upon invitation of my ex-husband, who is infiltrating my life and the life of my friends. And this is what we're seeing. This is why William's knowledge is so powerful. What is happening is these secret society agents are infiltrating anyone that is standing up in the truth. And the way that we can protect ourselves, because I was just reading the comments as I've been listening to people, the way that you protect yourself is through clarification, using peace and transparency and truth. And that's all we're here to do, is to strip back the lies, to stand in sovereignty, and to command the truth. We cannot be lied to anymore. So when these policy enforcers, when these actors turn up at your door very peacefully, you don't open the door. I, on my website, have put the legal entrapment card for everybody to instill the knowledge within themselves to stand in the sovereignty. And it's all about asking questions. Who are you? Why are you here? Can I see your ID? Be peaceful and say that I'm here standing in the truth to ensure that trust is re-established between us, the people, and those that wish to govern us. That's all we're here to do. And we want to do that in a place of peace and sovereignty and truth and transparency, because that is only how we regain trust. So here in England, going back to the trafficking, we are seeing in the family courts, the reason they have silenced and privatized the family courts is to protect the judges. It's not to protect the children. What some of these judges are doing is ripping children, innocent children. They're targeting vulnerable families, single mothers, and creating false allegations through the social workers, through CAFCAS, through child protection services. And these agents have zero idea what they're doing. They don't have the mental comprehension that they're participating in child trafficking, ripping innocent children away from very loving mothers and fathers. And we're seeing this in the heart of Bristol Family Court. That is the hub of England for child trafficking. And I can prove that time and time again with the overwhelming evidence coming out of that court. And it's the same judge, Judge Stephen Wildblood, is the clues in the name. He's one of the biggest perpetrators to force mothers to go on the run, using fear and coercion and false allegations, and then he accuses them of kidnap, hauls them back into the court and rips the children away. Where are these children going? 100,000 children are going missing in the UK alone every year, and they're being processed through these family fraudulent courts. That's how they're doing it.
Okay, stop. So this is happening throughout Scandinavia. We've done so much media in the last few short years on this. The United States is the very worst, without hands down. I've known this. This is what started my whole journey in looking into trafficking when I met the Federal Child Tracking, the founder of the Federal Child Tracking Agency in the United States many years ago, who was the first person to educate me to this abomination. But we're talking about worldwide millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of children being trafficked. Now, there's one thing, snatching unregistered kids off the street in some developing nation and processing them into, ritual harvest or pornography or slavery or whatever. There's that, and there's also the one that's the kind of trafficking that's taking place in broad daylight with the smooth, slick hand of the local child protection services. And that's really what we're talking about here.
Yes.
How insidious this industry has become of snatching kiddies. It's child snatching is what it is.
100%.
When you have some demented 26-year-old officer who is standing on your doorstep demanding to investigate your home or speak to your children. It's become an absolute insanity by design. Again, this is not because governments developed these child protection services as part of a counterpoint to what was going on and the great concern for children. No, there are very few cases of people abusing children legitimately that governments can, should, and must interfere with. But when it becomes industrialized in the way it has been, that's the big concern. So speak a little bit to that.
And so I'm seeing this since I've spoken up about my case, and this is where you know, I've just turned pain into power, because by speaking up and speaking out, what has happened is I've become a beacon of light, because what they're doing in the UK is these judges are putting gagging orders on these innocent mothers and fathers that are trying to scream as loud as they can that this is wrong, this is fraud, this is corruption, this is fraudulent paperwork. There's court hearings that don't even exist on the Ministry of Justice records, Sasha. You know, these are virtual hearings that are completely out of jurisdiction, completely recklessly out of the law. It's not the law that's the problem. It's not the system as a whole. It's the administration or the lack of administration. These select judges, these select social workers. We've got social workers who are using false names to come in with families and rip children away, and they're doing it quickly, and they're using fraudulent paperwork. Listen, I've done law for over 10 years. I've sat with my ex-husband, who's a very, very intelligent man. I know the law. Don't question me on the law. I'm surrounded by amazing, articulate people on law. I know what the correct application of the law is, and what is happening in the family court system at the moment is fraudulent. And I urge anyone participating with these actors, because that's all they are. They're not proper judges. They're not proper social workers. They cannot confirm their identity. They cannot confirm their official titles. They shut you down. They put down the phone on you. If they can't confirm who they are, you disengage. You do not support.
They have no authority, they have no jurisdiction, and they have no morality whatsoever in the main. That is correct. Sian, thank you very much indeed for joining us today. And I know that next drop, we're going to be looking a bit more into the international landscape and using your incredible capacity as a top law researcher to be able to zero in on the grave travesties of justice being perpetrated through the presidential seals, the prime ministerial seals, those world leaders, those Bilderbergers who are moving against their oath from that high station. That's really we have to aim at those wet ink signatures and those seals.
Absolutely. And just if I can just make the statement that I know there's so many people that need help. And I'm trying to put as much content out on my website as possible. So it's siangissing.com, just to protect yourself in your own home, the correct questions to ask to gain clarity on who these actors are. If they can't confirm who they are, you keep that door shut, you talk through a window, and you wear a body camera, and you protect yourself by documenting everything.
Thanks, Sian. Much love, and thanks for joining us. Bye now. I'm dropping in my favorite new human, who I've met recently, Kyle Kemper, brother of or sibling of the Prime Minister of Canada, has to be said. But as I keep emphasizing, a man who I believe is a real visionary and has got an incredible handle on the